Red 5 standing by. Hello, Galaxy! I'm Chris Pirillo. That's the type of galaxy I'm referring to at the top of these live video streams, including the special TLDR Weekend editions, which we are now pushing into this channel, youtube.com/Chris Pirillo, because I know you know where you already are. But you should know that we do TLDR every weekday live in the other YouTube channel, youtube.com/LockerGnome. So if you enjoy the interaction that we have during these live broadcasts between you and me, it's an AMA every day, Q&A between us, with Discord chat in the background, filled with subs and patrons of mine. You can join the Discord chat, open 24/7. They are geeking out way more than I ever could, that's for sure. Either head over to my Twitch profile, twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo, or Patreon page, patreon.com/Chris Pirillo. Become a sub or a patron. You can support me and also get a bonus like being in the live videos. And then you have a chance to see the super chats. You can super chat too while I'm live. You press the little $ button on the chat screen, so long as you're not using iOS, the app. The YouTube app in iOS doesn't support it. YouTube Safari on iOS does support it. Does that make sense? You got to visit through Safari's link. David Steven gets bragging rights for being the first super chatter of the evening. First, peasants. The hoi polloi. You are my peanut gallery. For sure. I spent the greater part of today recording a couple of videos that'll be uploaded over the course of the next couple of days here in this channel. One is my initial impressions on the Pixelbook, and the second one is a comparison of the Pixelbook against the iPad Pro. So those two videos are coming down the pike. I'm not yet sure which other videos I'm going to be recording. Sometimes I get my inspiration from these live videos. So yeah, I usually like covering those topics, solo, independent of these types of variety shows, and sometimes I just got to know which video you want most from me that I can effectively do. So thanks again for all the feedback. Thank you for the support. My day, for the most part, was fine. I'm not going to say we got snowed in, but it would be considered a snow day. It was very snowy here in Seattle. I love days like these. I really genuinely do. I got a lot of work done. Kind of came to a couple of conclusions that I wasn't sure I'd ever arrived to. Took care of a few other support issues. Got an RMA on my Google Pixel 2, so I've got another one coming in. I'll be exchanging it because this one's got burn-in, but more than anything, a screen defect that I really have a problem with, so I'm going to be tracking that. As I mentioned in yesterday's TLDR broadcast, I have been interacting with Made by Google. It is my hope to be able to continue that conversation beyond this support issue, to really, find a way to better communicate with their team, whether it's their support team or product team, to give them critical feedback, in my estimation, as far as these products are concerned, especially in relation to the community. I didn't have a chance to get review units this time around, but again, it's my hope to be able to become a part of that program by kind of putting my money where my mouth is. It's like the people who support me. They literally put their money where their mouth is. Who's lobbying Des? Gavan Bruderer has been lobbying Ask Des to get me a Note 8. Thank you. He said that it was possible. And I haven't asked. I'm not going to beg. Got people begging for my top 8 spaces. Yo, I know pie to 1,000 places. Ain't got no grills, but I still wear braces. I order all my sandwiches with mayonnaise. I'm a wizard minesweeper. I can play for days. Once you see my sweet moves, you're going to stay amazed. Fingers moving so fast to set the place ablaze. There's no killer app I haven't run. At Pascal, well, I'm number 1. Do vector calculus just for fun. Name the song. If you can't name the song, I'm sorry, you know nothing about being a geek. Nothing about being a nerd at all. You got to know the song. You got to. You have to. Come on. Ah. So, yeah, it was a jam-packed day, let me tell you. But wait, there's another question. My experience been with the Pixelbook asks Jamar D. How's it fitting into your life so far? What would you like and dislike about it? Well, I do answer that question over the course of the next couple of videos that have yet to be uploaded to this channel. But I've arrived at a very interesting conclusion. As you may very well know, I'm tossed up as to whether or not I'm going to be keeping the iPad Pro or the Pixelbook. I'm not sure if or when it's going to be. When I'm going to make that decision ultimately. I'm on the fence. I would probably be selling the iPad Pro if I had an opportunity. I'll tell you that. But I'm also not sure if I'm going to be holding on to the Pixelbook indefinitely, for a few reasons that I will outline in the coming videos. I don't want to issue any spoilers here. I'd rather you watch that video because I kind of fleshed out my thought process completely. I find it a challenge to hold on to devices that I didn't get a review unit on, and that's something I really want to pursue at a deeper level. Maybe this coming weekend after the Creator Advocate Summit on Saturday, Sunday we'll do an iPhone 10 device fund live video, like a Subservient Chris kind of thing, where the funds used there, if we make the goal, then I get the iPhone 10 based upon the community and their throwing into the kitty. If I don't make that goal, then maybe it rolls over into the next device if I don't have another one on the horizon for review. I've reached out to Razer a couple of times by way of email as well as Twitter. I don't know if you saw my tweet today. I posted a picture of the what is it called? Jedi Challenges VR kit. I need a Razer to play because the Razer has the ability to push 90 frames per second or 120 with the refresh rates. 90 hertz to 120 hertz, or in that ballpark. That would mitigate my motion sickness. So I made the request on Twitter. It'd be great if you retweeted me. I would appreciate that. Maybe Razer will sit up and pay attention, because I'm certainly interested in looking at a Razer device. Probably more interested in a Razer device than I am an iPhone 10, just FYI. Until there's a true dark mode on an iPhone 10. We do have another super chat from Gavon Bruderer saying, "I'm sad seeing you sad. I came from iOS and love it." Yeah, I'm not saying I'm sad. I mean, I'm disappointed that the hardware quality of the Pixel XL or Pixel 2 XL does not match the software quality. I'm effectively coming from iOS as well. At least as far as the smartphone is concerned. The hardware experience, though, is leaving a lot to be desired. And I'm hoping I'm not going to run into any other return issues with the particular Pixel 2 XL family, at least over the course of the next year. Of course, if I do see an issue, I will absolutely report it and pursue it as far as I can pursue it. And I feel that if they're offering a premium type of device at a premium price, I need that premium level of service. And that's not something that I expect from every company, but certainly from Google. And absolutely for the arena that they're trying to enter. If they're serious about taking hardware seriously, then they need to be serious about customer service as well. That's my feeling. I did see another question there. Willing to throw money at Note 8 or Razer, but not iPhone 10. See? I can't win with these device funds. I don't know how best to do it. I don't know how. I really don't. Apart from y'all becoming patrons or possibly even subs. That's a great way to support on an ongoing basis. You should contact D-Brand. They seem to sponsor a bunch of people. They send a few YouTubers up to 4 iPhone 10s. Really? Who's D-Brand? Do you know D-Brand? I don't know D-Brand. Maybe... Do y'all know D-Brand? Well, if you know D-Brand, just tweet them. Maybe I'll reach out to them. I'd be willing to give it a shot. Sure, why not? I love skins. I know who D-Brand is. But no, I've not reached out to them necessarily. Yeah. See, you guys, fooled you. Fooled you. So yeah, there's been a lot of upheaval lately, which drives me nuts. I'm not a proponent for upheaval's sake. Switching from iOS to Android. Trying this new product, that new product, and I'm not used to trying all these new products on a regular basis. So it takes a while for me to find a new groove, especially when I'm looking at making something my daily driver. Especially when I'm talking about like serious upheaval. And that's effectively where I am with a lot of these things. These personal choices that, unfortunately are not as, easy to make as other people may make them. I mean, we all have to step through the process of deciding what's going to be best for us. Jamardi asks what a typical day is for me. I don't know. Typical day is, productivity. Getting stuff done, figuring out what it is I'm going to do next, and, planning for the future as best I possibly can. Now I'm working live video into it, recording the podcast into it, content creation into it, and then usually it's communication on the back channel that takes a majority of time. CSamal96, do you miss iOS emojis? He asks. I think it's emoji. I think that's the plural of emoji. 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 I don't. Not really. I like Google's emoji. I like that flat style. I used to like iOS emoji back in the day, and then when they made the shift to their flat design, the emoji for some reason did not go flat. So that perturbs me. I'm concerned about that. I think they went the wrong direction with iOS emoji. That's my humble opinion. I like Microsoft's emoji. I like Twitter's emoji. I like Facebook's emoji. I like Google's emoji. I don't like iOS emoji. It's just true. Igor Goldstein says, sad returned 48 hours in bad battery life. OS bugs. Oh, really? Well, but hey, that may not be enough time. Maybe you had a bad unit. Maybe you should have switched it. Now, the OS bugs I'll give you, but man, I don't know. Hey, that was your choice. That was truly your choice. Oh, the cheeseburger emoji. Look at that. So there's the Chrome emoji. It's the cheese on top. I have not seen the new iOS glitch. No, MJ21MLB. But the cheeseburger emoji apparently on Android, the cheese is underneath the bun. I don't care. Just shows you how much I care. I don't care. I don't use the burger emoji that often. Moreover, it's probably not vegan unless I can make it a vegan burger. You know, the protein meat alternative is actually pretty darn good. I wouldn't say that it has the same texture or taste or flavor as beef, the ones that I've tried, the ones that everyone raves about. But, I got my burger fix. There's tons of really good vegan cheese. Unfortunately, both of those types of food products are filled with oil and things you probably don't want to be ingesting anyway, whether or not you are someone like me, a whole food plant-based guy. Companies are fighting about it, apparently. I don't know. That's not the deciding factor for me, whether the cheese is on the bottom of the emoji or the top of the emoji. I really don't care. Ryan Klompus says, I returned my iPhone 10 within 24 hours. The experience is terrible with such a small safe area. It ruins the keyboard in landscape mode, too tall and narrow. The narrowness I think I could get over. It's the wasted space that bothers me. I can see how some people say it's easy to ignore the notch, and that's the wrong word. I know it's the sensor housing. It's the inclusion that is the disgusting thing of the iPhone 10. And the reason why is because your eyes are drawn to the middle of the screen. You tend not to pay attention to the top or the bottom. That, to me, is how Apple gets away with what they're getting away with. But I guess I can see the forest for the trees. It's still jarring at a distance. It's jarring up close. It's something that Apple's not likely going to be mitigating anytime soon, if they ever do mitigate it. And then it becomes an issue of, all right, then do you like iOS or do you like Android more? And some people have already made that decision. And I will tell you, having now used Android, I'd say solidly and consistently for productivity, beyond just kind of toying with it for the past couple of weeks, color me a fan of what they're doing with Android and software optimizations and AI optimizations. It is a more fluid experience. It's a more fluid operating system. It's far more intelligible, far more intelligent, and it made me far more productive. I'm talking about the Android experience on a Pixel 2 XL, the latest beta, Android 8.1 Oreo, and so I expect that it's only going to get better over time. John Wiskowski came in with a super chat. There was no question attached or no comment attached, but feel free to throw something in there if you are so inclined. Cassie Lowe says, Liz, I subbed on Twitch with my Prime account. Cool! We're going to see Cassie back in chat. It's been a while. Cassie's she's OG. In proof that Star Wars fans can be friends. I don't know, Cassie, are we friends? With Star Trek fans? It's true. It's very true. Thank you, Zach. I got a scroll Discord. Wah! Oh, yeah, I heard about this. Apple's solution is you have to... the workaround is so bass-ackwards. Like, their software is broken and they can't fix it, so they tell you to fix it. It's asinine. Let's see here. There's a major problem with both Apple and Google's burger emoji. Both of them? Yeah, they're not vegan. That's the problem. Battery right now, I've been using it all day. That's solid, man. That's what I'm saying. I think it was a bad unit, potentially. That's my feeling. I could be wrong. Haven't tried tofurkey, though. Diana's looking for a good tofu dessert recipe, if anybody has one. John says, I'm enjoying my 10 way more than I expected. Hated the notch pre-release, but a non-issue now. Keep up the great chats. Yeah, I can see why you would say that. I still can't. I can't. Maybe with regular use, I'd get used to it, but then, again, you're looking at iOS and going, is iOS for me? And I really don't think so anymore. Being a 10-year iOS user, it's not as good as it used to be. So once you get past that hardware problem, then you got the software problems that you deal with. And I'm not talking about the simple bugs that can be patched. I'm just talking about iOS in general. David Ortiz asks, what do you think about the Huawei Mate 10 Pro? I don't think anything of it because I haven't seen one. I don't have one. I don't know anybody at Huawei. At a distance, it looked okay. But I always look to what the software experience is, then the hardware secondarily. What's the software experience? Then what's the hardware experience? That's how I look at devices. It's the reason I'd probably, even despite the Pixel 2 XL probably being one of the worst hardware releases in the Android space this past year, sticking with it because the software experience is absolutely relatively solid. Absolutely relatively. Yeah, I just said that and I got away with it, okay? David Brown comes in with a super chat. People got too much time. Burger emoji. Yeah, I know. But it's a thing. You know, people need something to complain about. I need something to complain about. I need to do a video on the burger emoji. What about us vegans, man? Jamar asks, what are your thoughts here in the Discord chat on the Google feed? Do you use it? Is the Google feed the thing that you use for the Google app? Yeah, I double tap the screen, pulls up the Google app. I use it. I like it. I don't have the updated version of it like I thought I would. I'm in the beta. I thought I'd have the rounded corners and everything, but I don't have that. And I thought I'd have the shortened header, and I really like that. But I don't have it with the beta. Maybe what I should do is this. Maybe what I'm going to do. Tell you what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. Going to go over to the beta tab. Because you see you can install beta apps on Android. Alright. I'm going to uninstall it. There we go. And then I'm going to leave the beta test. Leave. Okay. Removing you from beta. By the time I pick it up again, I'll be out of the beta program. I'm going to try the regular Google feed. I'll be a normie like the rest of y'all. So that's what I feel. Hey, I'm not omnipotent. Good to see you again. Hang on just a second. Battery. Sorry. Why did you leave Ustream? Ustream got acquired by IBM. Sorry, I got to keep scrolling here. Trebon88. Wait, hang on. What was this comment that got comments? Vegans are people too. I just disagree with them. You're not disagreeing with me. You're disagreeing with science. Oh, it just got cold in here. Not just because it's snow. I'm serious. I'm not... We can talk about this later. You're not disagreeing with me. You're disagreeing with science. There's a massive difference. What's your top 10 smartphones of all time? Mine, Nexus 5, T-Mo Sidekick, iPhone 4, Note 8. Man, you've thought a lot about this, man. Note 5, Nexus 6, Nexus 6P, LG V10, Nexus 4, iPhone 6s Plus. I don't know is the answer to that question. I can tell you the first iPhone is the thing that won me over. And it was the Nexus 4 that really had me thinking that maybe Android would eventually be for me. So those I would give you those top two. You can get free gift cards. You can earn them. Head over to go.tagjag.com/free points on iOS or Android, if you will. Got another super chat here. Vartan K, who's also, I believe, a patron or a sub here in Discord. He says, I lost the bet. Also, this is coming from Mobile Safari on iOS. There you go. He lost the bet, and here's why. Because people thought that I would never switch. People thought that I was just going to rush out and get the iPhone 10 for video views. People thought I was never actually going to make the move, and then I did. So, yeah, like, you know, I don't have a SIM in my iPhone here. I'll show you, maybe. Give me a second. I'm trying to clear away these dang notifications, and son of a. I hate the notifications on here. All right, look. There, it says no. Can you see it? It says no SIM. Right there. No SIM. For real. Having other issues with it, but that's a completely different story. It's true. I'm right here. And happy. Rocking it. Rocking the Pixel 2 XL. On my current Pixel 2 XL. Gen 1. First edition. And then I'll be getting the new one, so I gotta do that whole flippity flop again. Oh man, this has got to be better next year. This has got to be. Anthony Fagan asks, what do you think of the Orville? Well, Anthony, you may not have tuned into TLDR before, but I have talked about the Orville, and I enjoy it. I like the show. I like it a lot. I don't think it's a Star Trek replacement. It's very Star Trek-ish. Fun, kind of a genre bender, but quite enjoyable. I've recommended it to others. There's little that I don't like about the show. Very little. And if it's a show that I want to watch, that I look forward to seeing, that says it all. And this is absolutely in my rotation. And I don't have much of the rotation. Do you know how many innocent plants are killed every year in a vegan diet? Spare the greens. Hey, man, it's called the circle of life. You know, you got to get your energy from somewhere. Can't just siphon it from the air, unfortunately. YouTube question, could you go into more detail about what you think iOS is lacking at the moment? Not right now. That's a whole video, like a dedicated video. Yeah, it just comes down to execution. Not the idea, but the execution. You know, hang on just a second. It boils down to Android just being better at so many other things in terms of productivity, in terms of execution. It's not the idea, it's the execution. And I think Apple hasn't stuck the landing since iOS 6. That's, I think, when they lost the game. You know, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to slag Animoji. I think it's neat. Would I like to try it? Sure. Animoji does look fun. I guarantee I'd never get the phone back from Jedi if she ever saw Animoji. It's game over. But you know, I need something more substantial for a device that I'm using for play and for work. I don't play a lot of games on my phone. If I do, they're typically casual. Most of my work is specifically productivity. Reading, learning, researching, social media, you know, recording video, waiting for their pending patch to fix the microphone issue. Until then, I got my Rode Lav with a flippy dongle thing. When will I start the iPhone 10 fund? CSOMall 96. I tell you what I'm going to do after this. I basically, here, hang on just a second. Remind me at, oh wait, I can't, because I just uninstalled the Google app. Assistant's tied into the Google app, so I can't. Just wait, I'll do it at the end. Remind me, I need to update the GoFundMe page because I think I can make it ongoing. So you know, for the time being, it'll be like basically renamed as Device Fund, and you know, after certain earmark has been met, you know, we'll go on to the next Device Fund. But the GoFundMe page is a way to do it. The Super Chats is a way to do it. Being a patron will do it. A sub will do it. There's no other way of doing it. There's really not. And unfortunately, I just don't know if we're going to make the goal in terms of even putting all those monies together. It's not very easy to do for the way that I would like to do it. So, there's thumbs down. When will I start the iPhone 10 fund? 3 thumbs down. I don't think anyone wants me to try it. They're afraid. Chris Bryson asks, do you follow Dr. Greger? I do. Some interesting stuff indeed. He nearly poisoned himself with eating, what was it, elderberries? So, I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. I mean, you want to talk about food science. The guy, he's on it. I love his approach to science. And, yes, I do follow. He's given me some really good advice that I've been able to use and adopt and adapt to, including being able to get over my problems with IBS effectively by eating capsaicin. Like, I'll have it like hot sauce. And it basically solved the problems that I was having with IBS. It's been very eye-opening to go down this path and solve problems I've always had. Health problems I've always had. Let's see here. When will I start the iPhone 10 fund? Okay. I don't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do the Pixel fund, and that ended up kind of being weird. I think what I'm going to do is do I have to start a new GoFundMe? Just a dedicated iPhone 10 GoFundMe? Is that the way to do it? I mean, it just sounds so crazy to do it that way. But maybe it's time to close out the Pixel Palooza fund and, you know, cash that out and despite all the fees associated with it, and then kick up the iPhone 10 one. And then let you guys decide. Because I'm not going to, you know, pay too much attention beyond that. And then maybe I have to set up a Note 8 GoFundMe. And then this GoFundMe and then that GoFundMe. Maybe that's the best way to do it. I don't know. Any tips for new YouTubers? Yes. Come to the Creator Advocate Workshop next Saturday here in Seattle. Toby comes in with a super chat asking, how or have you ever thought of making videos specifically towards utilitarian things or ideas in general, including but not limited to tech, perhaps? Cheers. I guess I hadn't thought about it. I live that way. I tend not to surround myself by a bevy of devices. I don't, chase new things unless it's Star Wars. Those are the things that I chase. If it's new Star Wars stuff, I'm in. If it's old Star Wars stuff, I'm in. Everything else, that's not a bad idea. I just learned to live with one thing. I try to find that one thing that's going to work. It's why I'm disappointed, even though this is a better mic to connect to a smartphone. I've used this on the iPhone too. But I'd rather have everything all in one. I'm an all-in-one kind of guy. This is my everything. And I don't look for a million different apps. I look for just one good one. I don't want to have a million different apps. In fact, there's probably a couple apps I'm going to be removing from Android I'm looking at it going, I don't know if I'm really getting as much value out of this. Even if it was a paid app, I just don't use it all that often in terms of regular use. Like the Reddit app. I don't do the Reddits all that often. There are a couple subreddits that I follow, but not regularly enough to necessitate even using an app, just using the web-based version. SSGS Trunks comes in with a super chat, says, soy burgers are great, even soy ribs. Still eat A&W. Welcome, Snoopy Owl. Or is that Snoopy AI? I'm not sure. How do you stay motivated to produce content every day? I just do it. I've been doing it a long time. What keeps me going? Well, paying the bills, for one. That's not a joke either. I try to work in ways to be able to produce more content, not less. So, the plans are going to be, as follows here. Or at least we're working through these processes. And by the way, I do agree with SSGS Trunks, who says soy burgers are great, even soy ribs. Still eat A&W. I don't really eat A&W, but there's some solid products out there. You just got to watch out. Like, you don't want to trade crap for crap. And that's my big approach with being a whole food, plant-based person. That's a horrible term to use, but it's the best term out there. If you don't want to frighten people by saying you're a vegan. For some reason, that frightens people. It's like me saying I'm an Android user and them using iOS and them going, ah! It's not that bad. God, it's my choice. But, I stay motivated because it does pay the bills. It does... keep me, motivated to do new things. I've got the somewhat of a pattern now where I try to do a standalone video in this channel. Sometimes it's short, sometimes it's longer on the weekdays. I try to plan those out. I try to pick topics that I believe are relevant for everybody, that are going to be searched for, that people are looking for from me. Those are usually, the more popular ones are tied into devices, more so than anything, which leads me to saying, hey, I've got to figure out a better device strategy with y'all. I really want to figure out a better device strategy with y'all. So I do that video. And then, of course, the live TLDR video that's normally done on weekdays in the other YouTube channel, youtube.com/LockerGnome. So if you're watching these TLDR videos, we do this every weekday. I answer questions and do these kind of interactions. But I do 2 YouTube channels because I don't want to flood out any one channel. That was a mistake. And then I do the podcast recording after TLDR. Usually I'll do the podcast recording tonight, possibly after this live video. You can head over to my Twitch profile to watch the simulcast of that podcast recording, twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. I got like $60 worth of cheers last night, which is great. See, that you got to understand, as an independent, I got to pay, through the nose with taxes and fees and support that I can't get from employee benefits that I don't have. So, I run a lean, mean, and clean ship, unfortunately. It used to be different, but, circumstances are beyond my control. I basically have volunteers who help. That's really what I have. I have, in many ways, the attention you give is volunteer. I can't do what I do without volunteers. And I'm also going to be doing the streaming, live gaming streaming that sounded horrible. When Battlefront 2 is out in another few days, I want to do gameplay live on the Star Wars Radar YouTube channel on YouTube. So I'll have basically 3 YouTube channels that y'all will know about. Star Wars Radar being one, and then there's this channel, and then the Locker Gnome channel for the weekday TLDR videos. But that's boy, I got a lot of catching up to do. Sorry about scrolling through everything, people. But yeah, to answer that question. That's just what I do, and I got to figure out ways to do more, not less, more. And I got to do it in an intelligent fashion. And I don't know the best answer to that question. And sometimes it's just tripping into it. So thank you for your support across the board. Mark Gibb comes in with a super chat. Says, why not just use the Pixel 2 instead of the XL? The screen is too small for me. I'm not really a fan of the screen size. And that's why. I feel that I like the resolution of the XL. That's why I went with it. The screen, I think, is a little better on the Pixel 2, but it's not enough for me. I want that resolution, and if I can handle the resolution, I'll take it. But that's why, Mark. Morgan Ostring comes in with a super chat saying, "Love your videos." Thank you. I love your support. Tonach says, "I'm conflicted because I actually really like the iPhone 10, but iOS notifications are borderline unusable." Like I said, if you can get past the hardware problem, then it becomes a software thing. And if you can deal with the software, great, but I'm done. I can't. Not until iOS dramatically changes. I'll use it. I've got it for compatibility. I've got it for testing. I've got it for this, that, and the other thing. But I don't know. Next time around, with the device strategy, if I can't find a sponsor, it's working out some other option or opportunity. It's different enough. It's a different platform. It's a different company. But what they're doing, man, is just boneheaded by comparison. In my estimation, in my opinion, what Apple does in software is boneheaded in terms of productivity compared to Android. My food science, if it tastes good, I eat it. Yeah. Well, it's not exactly science. It's subjective. That's opinion. But that's fair. Chris Wall says, any updates for Nomies in the future since the Fab is closed now? The Fab? I don't know what the Fab is. What's the Fab? Oh, the Facebook group? Chris? This is it. If you're looking for Nomies, that was the old, I do things and we do things together. The chat room's it. Become a patron. Patreon.com/Chris Pirillo. Join the chat room. Or become a sub on Twitch, or do both, and then join the Discord chat. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for Nomies. I have lots of evergreen content. Can I start a GoFundMe to get to Seattle? Yeah, good luck. You can do it. 92 subscribers away from 350,000? Wow. That's solid. Hey, we almost made it to 350,000. I don't think I've ever been that high. I don't think my numbers have ever been that great, ever. I don't know if I ever hit 350. I came close. But that may be a new for me. Oh, I'm still at 0? I'm sorry, Zach. I just haven't had any opportunity to say the word. Do I get a bonus? Do I get a bonus for not saying it? There's got to be a 0 bonus. Usually they have those kind of achievements, right? If you don't say it at all. Oh, someone else just joined. Chad Athan just joined Discord chat. Welcome aboard. I still got to keep scrolling. I'm way far behind with this chat. Would you ever consider selling the iPhone 8 Plus to fund the 10? Whew. I don't think so. And here's why. Because I don't think I could use the iPhone 10 without gagging. I can at least use the iPhone 8 Plus without gagging. It's far more elegant a software experience. So the answer is no, although it's a really solid question. I wasn't on ZDTV, but my online bio mentions it. Well, Tech TV, that's different from ZDTV. Give me a second. What do I think the best version of Windows since Windows 1.0 to Windows 10? Also, if you have used MS-DOS, what do you think of it at that time? Was it good or bad in your opinion? I love DOS. I was a command line guy. Best version of Windows? Man, I'm going to say 2000. Windows 2000. I think over all the time, I'm so far behind, it said to jump. That was the super chat there, Morgan. There's the question again. I think I'm going to go with Windows 2000 because I loved it. I really loved it. It was an operating system that was solid, stable, relatively fast. It just worked. And the interface was pretty utilitarian. It was pretty clean. It was straightforward. That was my favorite, I would say. Someone asked on YouTube, what chat is he using on his computer? This is Discord chat. They automatically get priority during these live broadcasts. If you want priority above the chat, you get to super chat if you don't want to join the Discord chat. My favorite Stranger Things character? Dustin got a little annoying this season. I like Dustin, but he went a little too far. I don't know. I don't know. That's a toughie. The Demogorgon? No. Who did I like this season? Let me think about that. I don't know. Maybe it would be 11. If only because there's so much mystery there. You never really know what her motivations are. I think I'm going to go with 11. I think she's doing a fantastic job. Was it Millie Bobby Brown? YouTube question, just switched over to the Pixel 2 family, loving everything about it. Do you have any launchers or apps I should try out? I don't play with a lot of apps. I don't download a lot of apps. I like I said, I was getting ready to probably remove one. But, the launcher I've gone with is Action Launcher. It's my favorite by far. And plus the developer's always looking for ways to tweak and make things better. What's cool about Action Launcher, I love this because I don't keep a lot of icons on my screen. Let me go ahead and turn down the volume because it keeps plinking. I can now see I don't have like a ton of apps on there, but look, I can put widgets. I can put widgets in my like not bar, like where you normally put icons. I can put widgets down there, which is really nice. So I keep the weather widget down there. That is Weather Timeline, which I happen to like. It's one of the better weather apps that I've found, recommended by the community actually. Absolutely worth, what was it, $1.50 or whatever it was. So that's my recommendation. All right, I got to keep scrolling, folks. Okay, I already answered that. Dustin getting a jank review from Chris Pirillo. Nah, I mean, it was just like he kept trying to make things happen instead of them happening organically. I don't know. Like the whole like demo dogs thing, I was like, okay, let it go. Like it was just. I wish they would have pulled back. They would have reined him in just a little bit, just a bit. Eddie Craner says new to the channel. Welcome aboard. Damodar Kenny says comes in with a super chat. Says Chris, does the pixel screen render colors accurately with photos clicked on it? Any white balance issues in artificial lighting? Still on the fence. Oh God, I guess I haven't noticed. I've got night mode on here. Let me toggle it off. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, maybe the screen, if it skews anything, maybe it skews more blue. It just depends on the light, though. But I look at all the pictures I take and try to figure out, well, was this accurate? Was it not accurate? Was I sitting in the right spot? Was the lighting perfect? Some of these photos are not taken with the Pixel 2 XL, but I think this photo of Jedi really speaks volumes. Let me hold it up. This was amazing, and I understand it's very, very bright. I don't have auto brightness adjusted here because I don't like the way that Android or this phone handles the auto brightness. But this to me was an amazing picture. I thought, and this is me looking at the photo without any vivid mode turned on. So to me, yeah, I think it renders colors accurately. With photos, probably more accurately than other screens. I would rather have a more accurate photo than one that was just totally like blown out in saturation. Boy, I must really be behind. Nice. What do I think about Samsung's stranglehold on the OLED smartphone display market? Asks Omnipotent in Discord chat. And how do you think it would be affecting future smartphone development? I think it's a problem. I think Samsung is... they're ruling the roost, and that's a problem because there's no competition. And don't even say that LG is competition, because we obviously see how that's turning out. Unless LG leapfrogs over the next year, I mean, it could happen, but I doubt it. Samsung's pretty much the only game in town. I think that's a big problem. I think it's a huge problem. Big time. That is dangerous. And by the way, someone on YouTube says adaptive brightness sucks. So apparently I'm not the only one who turned that junk off. It's really not good at all. Let's keep scrolling. I've already answered some of those questions. Mark Gibb comes in with another super chat. Thoughts on Xbox One X, or are you a PS4 guy? I have a PS4 and an Xbox One. I use the PS4. I probably play Battlefront on the PS4 because my brothers play on the PS4. That's why I ended up going that direction rather than the Xbox direction. The PS4 was sponsored by go.tagjag.com/free points for whatever it's worth. The Xbox One was sent to me by Microsoft. Why did I start YouTube? Because it was there. That's no joke. It was there. So I tried it. What's my favorite holiday? Life Day, MJ21MLB. Let's see here. Huge fan since Tech TV, says Chad Athan. Call for help and TSS are responsible for my love for tech. So you've had the Google Pixel Book for a moment, and you're still enjoying it. Yeah, it's okay. I said this last night, though. It's not worth $1,000. It'll come out, that nugget will come out in the 2 coming videos for the Pixel Book that I've done that'll be uploaded to this channel here soon. Any apps that do full screen to take advantage of the iPhone 10 screen? Have no idea. The Stocks app looked good, if only because it was all black. Let's see here. Are you that Lamborghini guy? Yes. Well, how was I supposed to answer that question? Keep scrolling here. Oh, did I finally catch up with Discord? I think I finally did. Oh, man. I really got stuck behind there. Elaine G60 says, any mid-priced tablet suggestion? Hate keyboard. Mid-priced? I don't know if there's anything good out there. Android tablets are a dime a dozen. It depends on what you're going to do with it. You know, I as much as I hesitate to recommend the Fire tablets from Amazon, I only hesitate to recommend them because I don't like the software. But they are affordable. They do work. They're very rugged and could be a good mid-price tablet suggestion for me to make. You can do everything on it that you might want to do or need to do. I'm just not in I'm not in the market for one at all. But I would say right about there. I think for the price, you're getting something solid. Some people recommend the iPad. I let me put it this way. You can't even get a good iOS iPad experience on an iPad Pro, let alone an entry-level iPad these days. I use it for everything because of my vision. Well, that may be the way to do it. Going with the Fire tablet. They're affordable. They're solid. It's not something that I would recommend to everybody, but I've only seen a couple of recent ones in the Amazon store here in Seattle, and I mean I saw them up close. I'm like, they really haven't fixed anything with the software. It's still got a long way to go in terms of performance, but you know, for the price, I couldn't necessarily complain all that loudly. I have mentioned that Jedi's first tablet will likely be a Kindle Fire for kids, whatever they call those things. They should call them an Ember. That's what they should call it, the Fire tablet for kids, the Ember. But we don't have one yet. We haven't purchased one yet. They've got like pink, blue, and yellow. So of course we would go for the yellow. Let's go for a neutral color. The Fire Kids Edition. That's what it was called. I remember the second gen Nexus 7, not too bad. I liked the Nexus 7. Nexus 7 was pretty awesome for what it was at the time, and certainly for the price. What was it, like $200, something like that? It was good. Yeah, I mean it could probably still handle things pretty well now if they kept up with it, but they didn't. Essential phone is now $449. Well, that's about the right price for the Essential phone. Maybe a little lower than that. The software experience leaves a lot to be desired on the Essential phone. I'd go as far as to say, man, I really don't like what this tastes like. It's like too strong. I mean, I've been sipping it, but it tastes like it was spiked with something, and I know it wasn't because I made it. Marble Dash asks, what do you think about the Surface Book 2? I don't think much about it. Don't have one. I'm not chasing one. Maybe should I chase one? Should I see what I can do with it? We'll see. I don't have an answer to that question. PCs in general aren't interesting to me. I would be fascinated with a Chromebook or possibly a tablet that wasn't running Microsoft Windows. But I just don't know where it fits. And if I can't figure out where it fits, it doesn't work for me. Someone asked if I like any of the Star Wars tables on Pinball FX. I do. I have them on. I have one on iOS. I have others on the PS4. Been trying to get them on Android because the problem is you got to buy the tables on every platform, which to me is asinine. Ugh. Do I like The Big Bang Theory and or Young Sheldon, asks someone. Yes, I do. Haven't watched Young Sheldon yet, though. It's been, it's been, you know, played as a commercial in between the Big Bang Theory commercial breaks. I don't know. There's nothing in it that I'm like, yeah, I want to see it. I don't know. I like The Big Bang Theory, though. I really enjoy that show, especially now that, Bernadette and Howie are parents. Like, I get it. It's funny. It's funny, man. I have a Stormtrooper mug. I have a Darth Vader mug. I don't know if I have those sculpts specifically, but I do have that. I do have that mug. Or those mugs. I don't know why the mugs showed up as a photo here during chat, or during the video stream, but sure, I'll entertain you. You got me some Star Wars. Do I watch Rick and Morty? I do not. Okay, Marble Dash, thanks for the photos, but I'm good. Let's keep it to chat, otherwise it scrolls too quickly. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes, and I get it, and I liked the episodes, but maybe I got to keep watching, like, to be able to find an episode that just, hooks me. I tried the same with Bob's Burgers, and I've watched it, and I've enjoyed them, but they just didn't hook me. I've enjoyed Family Guy, and even I don't get to watch all those episodes. I've enjoyed The Simpsons, and I don't want to watch all the episodes. There's nothing that it's so sometimes so difficult to track which shows you've seen, which shows you haven't, and to stay up to date. I wish it was easier. I would probably watch more episodes if it was just easier to keep track of, but it's not. The way that they release shows these days is just it's bad. It's not very friendly. What was the question? When is the Locarno map coming back? Never. It was an expensive experiment. Throwboy says, my brother Daniel and I thought of you today when we checked out the iPhone 10. You know what Roberto had the nerve to do here? Let me show you. Don't think this escaped my attention. I retweeted you too, dude. In my Flamingo app. He went, and I knew this was the Apple Store, because you can tell by the way that, let me go here, zoom in. Can I zoom in further? There we go. Look at that. There's me in the notch. There's your thumbnail, Liz. I'm holding up a picture of the iPhone 10 on my Pixel 2 XL screen. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? So don't think you escaped my attention. You did not. Oh, man. Let's see, how are we doing on time? Okay, we're a little over 45 minutes, so about 15 minutes or so left in this particular TLDR broadcast. We're going to find Chris hiding under his desk playing with his new iPhone 10. Well, no, not going to happen. Not going to happen. But that's okay. How do I feel about Quantum Leap? I loved Quantum Leap as a kid. Loved it. It was like one of my favorite shows. Boy, that would be a show that I'd be interested in seeing a reboot for. Of course, I'd like Scott Bakula to come back. He's leaping after all these years. I wonder if he'd do it. I'd tune in. I really liked the show. It was different. Remember Ziggy? The computer, the thing. What was it? It was AI. It was not the guy. It was not what was his name? Dean. What was his last name? It was Ziggy was the one that was communicating by way of the person. It's been so long, Sam. Yeah, it's been so long since I watched that show. Oh, Dean Stockton. Thank you. I knew it was Dean. Give me credit for that. That was a classic '80s show right there. Are you going to Star Wars Land once it opens? Asks someone. Yeah, eventually. When? No idea. Am I rushing towards it? Nope. Unless, of course, Disney's footing the bill. That's about the only way that's going to happen. So, yeah, I'd be interested in going, for sure. Including the Star Wars Hotel experience. That I would absolutely be happy to do. Oh, for sure. Oh, I'd be so excited. Chad says, he doesn't think I can get over the notch. I agree, it's awkward. I think the mock-ups with it blacked out and only showing notifications look much cleaner. Yeah. If I could mitigate it, I'd be interested. But then you gotta deal with iOS slop and iOS design. And I'm just not as interested. Not really. Can I recommend any of my favorite tech and Star Wars podcasts? I don't listen to tech podcasts. Star Wars podcasts when I can, follow Star Wars Radar. I tweet them all when I can, when I see a good episode or listen to a good episode. There's a lot of them out there. I'm too busy creating content that sometimes I don't get a chance to enjoy content like the rest of you can. Doctor Who thumbs down. I don't get why it's a big thing now. Couldn't tell you. I'm excited to see the new Doctor, though. Someone asked if I watched Battlestar Galactica. I did. I enjoyed it. I binged it. Very sad to have seen it basically disappear. I would have watched it indefinitely. That was a good show. I barely remember the original series, and I tried to trip through a few original series episodes, and I couldn't. As an adult, I can't. It's so hard to watch some of those old episodes. Someone else asks, would I do another tech TV? Yes, I'm doing it now. You probably were not expecting that as an answer, but it is true. I watch Frasier still when it's on. This season really makes me sad because they take Frasier reruns off the air. Of course, I can watch, like I can binge it on any other content subscription service, but I kind of like the ability to just turn it on and play whatever episode they're airing. Snoopy Al asks in Discord chat, Nexus versus Pixel in terms of brand names and phones, which is better? Well, I think they did a better job with the first gen Pixel than they did the second, and a lot of people seem to agree with me on that, at least as far as the hardware goes. The Nexus always intrigued me. I enjoyed the 4, then the 5. Didn't really want to use the 6P all that often. I mean, it was fine. It worked. I mean, it still works, but like it's not. I couldn't replace the iPhone with the Nexus 6P. It just wasn't. It wasn't likely. It was not in the cards, and so I ultimately just decided to step away from the Android for a while. And the Pixel came up last year. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Maybe. I worked to get a Pixel review unit. And I was like, I just can't justify the extra cost. And so I sat it out another year. And then this time around, I was like, all right, and then it's time to give it a shot. So I like the way they're trying to make the Pixel happen. I don't know if they're going to if it's going to happen, or if they're going to give up on it. It would be very disappointing to see Google come this far with the Pixel, only to abandon it. I'd be very disappointed, very sad. I don't know what the secondary Android experience would be. Maybe the next OnePlus, 5T, would be possible, if only because of a more pure Android experience with the a lot of RAM behind it. That's, from my understanding, that's what it's purported to be. I appreciate it, or I would appreciate it. Marble Dash asks, why do you think the first Google Pixel did not have stereo speakers, but the Nexus had it? Couldn't tell you. Whoever made it, what they decided to go with is design, from a design standpoint. I could have, I think, switched from an iPhone 7 Plus to a Pixel 2 XL, or Pixel XL. Could have. Didn't, obviously. And I feel I would have been disappointed with the Pixel 2 XL coming from a Pixel XL. So I'm kind of grateful I didn't. Quintillion comes in with a super chat. Thank you. I don't see a question attached to your super chat, but thank you. I do appreciate it. Someone says that they're watching this on their iPhone 10. You feel like a spy. I don't care how you watch the video. I genuinely don't. Watch it however you're going to watch it. I'm not gonna fault you for that. I got in a Twitter feud early this morning. Someone was effectively saying that my opinion was irrelevant because few people shared the opinion. I'm like, that's not how opinions work. Or because I said something else that was disconnected, my opinion was irrelevant. I'm like, you have no idea how to be reasonable, do you? I made a reasonable assertion, and because I made the reasonable assertion, my views were irrelevant. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not reasonable. So effectively I said, it's not reasonable. That's the problem sometimes when you get into feuds with people online. They say something that's unreasonable and you kind of have to back away because you realize they just can't be reasoned with. So I don't care how you view it. I don't care what you want. I mean, I care what you want, but I mean, I don't care. You're the one who's going to walk that path. You're the one who's got to use something. Not me. Thoughts on Ron Howard reshooting almost all of the Han Solo movie? I didn't realize he reshot almost all of it. That's bad. That's scary. But I trust in Ron. I only hope for like a narrator, the Ron Howard Arrested Development type of narrator where Han Solo says, I didn't do it. And then the narrator says, he did. I won't even be mad. I'll be impressed. I ain't even angry. Mad Bear asks in Discord chat, favorite feature on your Pixel 2 XL? Honestly, that. Being able to double tap and launch the camera. That's great. I love that. Seriously, I've used it so many times. Or even after I set up the May Moogle thing, I can say turn on my flashlight and it does. And I've used it. I've actually had the phone sitting down instead of fumbling with it and looking for the icon and swiping and all that stuff. I just said, "Hey, turn on my flashlight," and it does. I love it. Those are simple little tricks that definitely work out to my benefit because I use those things. So I really when I'm thinking, I need to take a picture, I don't even think about it anymore. I just double click it and pick up the device. Very, very simple, very straightforward. Who's Jedi's favorite Jedi? I don't know if she has one. Maybe Issaquah. Thoughts on the very limited iPhone 10 stocks in North America? Only 3,000 iPhone 10 devices were shipped to Canada. Wow. I don't know, man. A constrained supply chain. Maybe I don't need an iPhone 10 device fund. I don't think I'll be able to meet that goal. I have a feeling I'm going to have to set up several GoFundMes though. That's going to be the only way that you're supporting the device. But the problem is that it has to be funded within a month's time, or those funds, because I can't just keep them open indefinitely. The funds will go towards, something else. They'll go to the kitty. I'll figure out how to write it up, and then I'll share those links in social, I guess. There's no good way of doing device funds. Does pressing volume down on the Pixel take a picture? No. What you got to do is you effectively... let me exit out there. You press the power button and then volume down. Oops. I thought so. Hang on. Oh, I was pressing volume up and volume down. Press the power button and volume down, and then it takes a screenshot. And then from the screenshot, you can go in, and there's a screenshot, so I can go in and basically edit, annotate, Google... what is it? Not keep. Google Lens it, if I wanted to. I don't know what it believes on lens. It's got this nice little lens animation. Not seeing the thing clearly yet because you can't see anything. That's why. Let's see here. Did not mean for that to pop up. Give me a second. So yeah, that's so then you can edit it from here, or you can back out and go to your photos if you want. It's not as streamlined as iOS screenshots now, but it's ample. It works. Later on I'll go, why did I take this screenshot? That's why. Chris, some questions in here if you scroll up. I know I can't possibly keep up with all the amazing questions we're getting tonight. The good news is I will have missed your question. Ask it again in a few minutes when we record the podcast over on the Twitch profile. I appreciate that. If you all join me on the Twitch profile, I'll be recording the podcast. I assume you listen to the podcast. You can subscribe to it in your favorite podcast client. Just search for Chris Pirillo. And then remember, this is a biggie, remember that we do TLDR every weekday. This is not just a weekend thing here. TLDR happens every weekday for everybody to watch in the other YouTube channel. Be sure to go over there, turn on notifications there too. I assume you turned on notifications for this channel and you're subscribed. And I also assume you remember to like this video. Takes 2 seconds to do. Doesn't even take a second to press the like button. That's it. Just like 1 second. It's easy for you. I talk for an hour. You do this, potentially. That's all I ask for most of you. But TLDR will happen again tomorrow, live in the other YouTube channel. This channel, I try to reserve for more single topics. But now TLDR on the weekends, if only to let people know that TLDR happens every weekday in the other channels. This channel cross-promotion, because I can't do it in one channel. It floods the channel. That's the answer to that question. So I hope to see y'all in a few minutes. Feel free to join us in Discord chat. It's easy to do. Either become a patron of mine at patreon.com/Chris Pirillo. Links in the video description. Or become a sub of mine on twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. Link is also in the video description. And of course, I'm saying that about Twitch because you should follow me there, because then you get notified when I'm doing a live stream of the podcast recording. So you get to interact with me pretty much all day long, all week long, 24/7, kind of ish. I can't back that up. I can't be around 24/7 for everybody. But I do love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you.